Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Out of Boston here. Today I'm back for episode number 8 of my Brooklyn Nets MyLeague series here on NBA 2K16. So through the month of March, we went on a pretty significant losing streak here, and that pretty much bumped us out of the playoff picture. You can see we're now 4.5 games back, 5 in the loss column, with just 7 to play. So I know I said I was originally planning on doing 2 more regular season episodes, but because we fell out of the playoff race, I decided it was kind of pointless to drag out this season any longer than we had to. So I'm going to be playing the season finale in this episode. You can see we actually have fallen to the second worst record in the Eastern Conference, and actually the second worst record in the entire NBA. So there are still lottery balls to be won and lost here tonight, but we got game number 82 coming against the Toronto Raptors. Let's kick it to the 2K pregame show.
Hi there, folks. Ernie Johnson here, aided once again by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Great to be together again as the NBA regular season wraps up and playoff fever is starting to set in. Are you feeling it, Kenny?
Oh, I feel that playoff fever.
Yes, we do.
Hey, we don't have to pay for this song. Why? Because I made it up in my head.
I'm the backhand guy.
Yeah.
Alright, so there are a couple things I do want to talk about in this episode. First thing I'm going to highlight is what the numbers that you just saw flash up on the screen. The first set was Brook Lopez's season averages. He comes into game number 82 averaging 20 and 10 with over 2 blocks a game. It has been the best season of his career. Almost a breakout season of sorts. Lopez has always been a guy with a high ceiling. He's got a great offensive game, but he's never really been healthy. He's never really put it together. But it seems like he's been putting it together this season, and that's why I'm going to say right now, I do not plan on trading Brook Lopez this offseason. Now, I don't want people to misconstrue this as me saying I'm not going to trade Brook Lopez, because that's not the same statement as what I just said. I said I don't plan on trading him, which means I'm not going to go out and I'm not going to actively shop him or anything like that. But if I find the right trade offer, I'm going to think about it, because I don't really believe in untouchables. I think that, if you can make a trade that can make your team better, either for the now or for the future, it shouldn't matter who's in the trade. I mean, obviously, if you have LeBron James or Kevin Durant or Steph Curry, you're not going to be trading those guys, Anthony Davis. But, Brook Lopez isn't that super-duper star, and a guy like that shouldn't be untouchable on any roster. So I'm not going to say that I'm not going to trade him. I'm just going to say that the plan that I want to execute this offseason is to try and find him a big man partner. I like having big men who can complement each other. I wouldn't say it's a necessity in the NBA, especially in real life, to have big men who can sort of complement each other. But in 2K, I like to have guys who can do, when you put them together, they sort of do a little bit of everything. So when I see Lopez, I see a shot blocker, and I see a scorer. And what I want to compliment him with is a guy who's maybe I would want to say I'd want to have a good defender at the power forward spot, just because Lopez, he's got 2 blocks a game, but I wouldn't say his defense is he's not going to take over a game defensively. I don't think he's ever going to do that kind of thing. So, but a good thing something that I really need to compliment Lopez with is with rebounds. Lopez, not a good rebounder. He has averaged 10 rebounds a game this season, but he has gone through games and episodes where he'll only get like 4 or 5 rebounds, and that's always been his biggest deficiency. Despite being 7 feet tall, I don't think he's averaged more than 8 rebounds a game in his entire career, I want to say. So that is something that, that's the biggest thing I'm going to be looking for in a power forward. Now, one guy who I think would be like an ideal at this spot would be someone like Nerlens Noel. Now, this doesn't mean I'm going to try and trade for Nerlens Noel. I might try to, I might not. It sort of depends if I think it's going to be a realistic offer or not, if I think the Sixers might want to shop him, or if I can just find the right deal. But someone like that, an athletic guy, he's tenacious on the boards, he gets blocks, he plays defense. That's sort of the ideal guy that I'm looking for. And another reason why I don't really want to move Lopez is because the pick and roll in this year's 2K is like bar none check out this and 1-3 by Bojan Bogdanovic. That was pretty nice right there. But anyway, back to Lopez. So in this year's 2K, the pick and roll is by far your best offensive play, pretty much in any situation. And it really helps to have big men who can, do things when they get the ball in their hands, especially when they get into the low post. They can, a guy like Lopez can put his back to the basket. He can put the ball on the floor a little bit. He can do a lot on offense. And so I think having a sort of a dynamic offensive big like that is going to be a really big plus when it comes to, crunch time in the playoffs, 2-3-4 seasons down the line, when we really need a bucket late. I think Lopez, just in this year's 2K especially, is like the perfect guy to have. So that's why I don't plan on trading him, and I don't think his contract is too bad. I think he makes about $20 million a year, which isn't ideal, but we don't have a lot of other big salary guys on the team yet. So if cap space ever became an issue, Lopez could be a guy who I would say, $20 million probably a little bit too much for him. But as of right now, I'm fine paying him that, so we'll see. Now, because let's say if I'm planning on keeping Brook Lopez and I do keep him throughout the offseason, I am probably going to try and move Thad Young. I'll probably try and move Thad Young at the draft, maybe try to pick up an extra first-round pick for him. That's what he was traded for 2 off seasons ago when the Cavs picked up Kevin Love. So we'll see. I'll try to find a deal like that, but. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to mention was I talked about lottery balls a little bit at the beginning of this episode. So if you guys do remember, we do have the Lakers pick, and they are right now battling for the 8th seed. They were a game out with a game to play. So that is a big that has big implications on us because we want them in the lottery, of course. We want, even if it's a minuscule chance, we would like that minuscule chance at getting in the top 3. So we're hoping the Lakers miss the lottery. And then, I'm going out to win tonight because I don't want the Celtics. They're in our division. They own our pick this year. And I don't want the Celtics to have a top 5 pick. I mean, they're already, they've got some talent on that roster. And if they add a top premier talent, if they add Ben Simmons, that team could, do some things. So I'm really trying to play hard this game. I don't want the Celtics to have a top tier pick. If possible, I'd like them to have, like a pick in the 5 to 10 range, which is still possible considering all the teams that were around 30, 31, 32 wins. So anyway, let's get into the gameplay here. Like I said, we're taking on the Toronto Raptors. They are currently the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. I think they already have, or actually I think they're the 7th seed, I want to say, and I think their spot's already locked up, so they don't really have anything to play for tonight, but they are playing DeMar DeRozan, who is back from injury. He had a strained wrist or a sprained wrist, one of the two, and he's back. This is his first game back from that injury, so giving him a little bit of run before the playoffs start. Here is Corey Joseph finding DeRozan on the backdoor cut. He puts it in. That's going to cut the lead back down to 2. Is 56 to 54 now. Lowry being covered by Simbolar, and he is going to dish it down low for the and 1, and that is going to cut the lead to 1 now. 57 to 56. Larkin with it, trying to drive in, gives it to Bolar, and when he gets it around the paint, that is going to be a slam dunk. So we're back up by 3 now, but it's Lowry behind the line. That is cash, and the game is knotted up at 59. Here is Shane Larkin, though, another pick and roll with Bolar, and this time he gets it to go high off the glass right there, although they called goaltending anyway. The third quarter is over now. It is 63 to 61. Brooklyn on top. A low-scoring game. Our defense played really well through the first 2 quarters, but Toronto came alive in the third. Our offense sputtered a bit, and they closed the gap to 2. So we've got a ball game here. It's Luis Scola with the and 1. Unbelievable. Luis Scola, who I had actually torched all game long with Thomas Robinson. I think Robinson finished with like 17 points, which is way too much for Thomas Robinson. That's mainly because when he came in with the second unit, he was being covered by Luis Scola, so that's pretty easy to take advantage of. But Lopez hits the fadeaway, leads back down to 1 for Toronto now, as you can see he's got 11 and 6 so far. He's going to come alive a bit here in this fourth quarter. It's Bogdanovic. He had a nice game himself today as he goes to the hoop and gets the and 1, gives us the lead again. 70 to 68 now. It's Joseph with the ball, top of the key, looking for his man DeRozan, cutting off, ball screen. He knocks the long 2 down, and we are knotted up at 70 once again, but it's Lopez drawing the foul, and 1. Brook Lopez makes it a 3-point lead for the Nets now, but here come the Raptors. DeRozan looking for the screen from Scola, fading away, knocks it down, and the Raptors are back within 1, so back and forth is how this fourth quarter would go. It's Jakar Sampson with it, and look at Lopez. He can't get out of the key. What are you doing? I honestly just looked up at my ceiling and could not believe that crap. That is just such crap from 2K that a guy's going to walk out of the key when he's already been in it for, and I mean, even in the NBA, they really don't call 3 seconds in the key. It's more like 5 seconds in the key. And Lopez had been in there for like 3 or 4 seconds, and he's walking out of the key. Like, what are you doing? That frustrated me to no end, but DeMar Carroll gets the bucket there. He gives the Raptors the lead. Then it's DeMar DeRozan to the bucket. They're on a 9-0 run, and they've got a 4-point lead here with 2 minutes left. Now it's back down to 2. Shelvin Mack finds the screen. Gets open, shot is good. The bucket from Shelvin Mack off the dribble. His midi is money, and that is going to make it 81 all. So here we are, still not enough. It's Luis Scola, and 1 again. Luis Scola coming up clutch for the Toronto Raptors here today, and they've got a 1-point lead now after we cut it back down to 1. It's Lopez in the post, fade away on Jonas, no good. Rebound by Robinson, no good. Oh, a bad miss there for T-Rob. On the other end, it's DeRozan, his shot, it's no good. We get the ball back, we've got another chance to take the lead here, as it's going to be Jakar Sampson trying to drive on the smaller defender. Lowry shot clock winding down, slants, board ready. Lance Stevenson gives the Nets the lead. Under 10 seconds to play now. DeRozan, final chance for the Raptors, gives it to Lowry, and it's no good. Rebounded by Stevenson, excuse me, and the hero, Lance Stevenson, the hometown hero, born in New York, born ready at that. That is his street ball nickname, for those who did not know. Probably the greatest street ball nickname that I've ever heard personally, but anyway, we pick up the win in game number 82, so good for us. Like I said, don't want the Celtics getting that top tier pick. Hopefully we will have prevented that. from happening. And I'm not sure if the Lakers did end up making the playoffs. We'll find out in the offseason episode. I don't even know myself. So anyway, good job by our defense today. Both Lowry and DeRozan, their top 2 scorers, had very inefficient nights. I like to see that. But that's going to do it. Hope you guys did enjoy. Thanks for watching, and I'm out. Peace.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Now let's take this opportunity to check out our Jordan Player of the Game.
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the chart. He used every trick in the book to get those high percentage shots. He shot from every direction, and there was a little bit of luck here and there, but he was on fire.
Well, he had a terrific game tonight, but they need a lot more wins like this early in the season. One thing you really like to see is there's no quitting this guy. Even though their season's pretty much over, he's still getting after it, competing. He loves the game, man.
And that'll do it for our coverage of this year's final regular season contest. It has been a wild ride. For Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith, I'm Ernie Johnson. Now the playoffs begin on 2K Sports. See you back for that.